Hey everyone, in this video I am going to go over how you can use the SellerChamp products page to manage your item locations. So item locations are basically, like it says, item location. It's the location of where the item is located in your warehouse. Now in a previous video I went over how you can do this when you're initially scanning your items into a batch, right? You can directly just give it locations at that point, or even after the fact. Once you've scanned it into the batch and listed them on the marketplaces, you can go into that same batch again and give them locations. In this video, I'm going to talk about how you can do that same thing, but from within the products page. Okay. So here I have a product pulled up, and as you can see, it doesn't have a location. I have 10 quantities. Let's say I have 10 quantities available for that product with no locations. So there's a few different ways how I can assign locations to my items. One is I can just mouse over to the location field and type in the location here, like bin 10, right? Or I can go ahead and hit this plus button, which brings up my manage inventory locations modal, and here I can assign multiple locations to this product. So let's say this product is located across 3 different bins or 2 different bins. I can just hit that add location button, type in the name of the first bin, let's say bin 10, specify how many I have in that location. So I have a total of 10. Let's say I have 5 here in bin 10, hit my save button, there it is. Then I'll go into add location again and type in maybe the other 5 I've stored in bin 11 and type in 5 again here and click save. And now this item has been assigned 2 different locations, 5 quantities each. They have priority 1 and priority 2. What this means is that when a product sells, SellerChamp will first reduce the quantity from bin 10 before starting to reduce quantity from bin 11, because bin 10 has the first priority. Okay. On this page, I can also print the location label. So if I hit the print button, it will actually print that item label for that item, which has the UPC, the barcode for the item, the title, the condition, and the location of that item. So I can affix this to the item, and that way, even if it gets lost, I can always quickly put it back where it belongs. Okay. So you can print item locations here. You can also change the location if you need to. You can make a location permanent. What that does is that once the quantity reaches 0, okay, if the location is not permanent and the quantity reaches 0, SellerChamp will then delete that location from the product because it's not in that location anymore. So there's no reason to keep it around. Sometimes you do want to keep it around because you want to remember, because you want your locations to be permanent. So whenever that product comes back into stock, you want to make sure you store it in that same location. If that's your situation, just make it permanent. Okay, and that way, even when bin 10 is completely empty, it will not be removed from that product, so that you can go back in and add quantities to it at a later point in time. All right. Now, that's one way of adding item locations, is just by using this locations text box. Notice that when you already have more than one location, the text box is no longer visible, but that edit icon comes up instead, and you can click on it and manage your locations that way. Also, another thing to point out here is if you have multiple locations, your quantity here becomes a link instead of a text box. So now I can no longer just type in my quantity. Because I have multiple locations, I got to specify which location am I increasing or decreasing quantity from. Okay. All right. Now, the other way of managing your item locations is that you can bulk upload them. So you can click on download and download your item locations report. This is a report that has all of your SKUs along with all of the locations for that SKU, plus along with the quantities where that SKU is located. So to give you an example, I have one pulled up here. So as you can see, it's got my SKUs. It's got other helpful information just so I know what item I'm looking at. Then it's got the quantities, item location, and then it's got the location name, right, which is floor quantity, some location here, and then along with the quantity that I have for that specific SKU in that location. So I can just start making changes here. For instance, I see that this item is not assigned to a location. I can just type in the location here, set item location, bin 5, right? Give it a quantity and upload this file backend to this products page. More actions, upload item locations, and upload that file. Okay. So that's a way to bulk update your item locations through a file. So If you're sort of cleaning up your warehouse and you've got a CSV file of all your items and all your locations, and you want to get that updated, this is a very quick way of doing that. Okay, just download your current inventory locations report, make changes to it, reassign as you need to, upload the file backend, done. Okay, that's the second way of updating your item locations. Third way of updating item locations is you go into more actions and you click on assign item locations. This is going to bring up a modal where you can actually pick the marketplace where you're doing this operation, assign item locations, and then you can either scan in an item location or type it in. So first time around you're going to type it in. So for example, bin 10. Now what I can do is I can hit the print button here next to item location to assign, and that's going to print a barcode for that location. I can then take this barcode and affix it to that location in the warehouse. So next time around when I'm in front of that location, I don't have to type it in anymore. I can just scan it, right? I can just scan in that location and it will say bin 10 here. So first time around, type it in, print your barcode label, take that barcode label, stick it on that location in your warehouse. And now going forward, if you've got your barcode scanner with you, you just scan it and it'll say, it'll have that location. Next, scan the item, right? So I am taking some items and I'm assigning them to this location. Take that first item, scan it in, right? In my case, I am going to basically take this SKU, right? Imagine I'm scanning it in. I don't have a scanner here, so that's why I'm doing this, right? So I'm going to type in bin 10, right? Let's say I'm relocating this to bin 15. So bin 15, scan in my an item, and as soon as I scan it in, it'll basically tell me that, hey, listen, in this particular case, you've got this item in two different locations, bin 10 and bin 11. And you want to take one quantity and you want to reassign it to bin 15. So which one do you want to reassign, from bin 10 or from bin 11? Then I can say yes, from bin 10 and hit select. And it will assign it to bin 15 from bin 10. So as you can see, bin 10 is now 10, now 4, bin 15 is a quantity of 1. Okay. So that's how you can assign locations using the assign locations modal window. Okay. If I said all instead and I scanned it in, then it will take quantities across all my locations and reassign it to bin 15. So if you're in your warehouse and you're doing reorganizations and you quickly need to move items around or consolidate them, this is a very quick way of doing that, right? Type in your bin, type in how many quantities you're moving, type in the SKU, and you've reassigned your items into that bin. If you want to reassign all, then it becomes even easier. You just say all, type in the SKU, hit enter, and done. Okay. Now, and you've reassigned all items to that bin. Okay. Well, so those are the 3 different ways of assigning item locations. Either do it manually by going to the location, typing in the location, uploading a CSV file, right? Or using the assign item locations modal window. All right. Thank you so much. Hope that was helpful. Any questions, don't hesitate to contact us. Hit that chat icon on the bottom right, send us a message, and we'll be in touch with you soon. Thanks. Cheers.